Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this evening. Absolutely tons of Celtic news kicking around this evening. Lots to talk about, from a potential away game ban in Europe. We need to speak about that. And also the Celtic statement. Finally, Celtic have put out a statement regarding the one and only Paul Tisdale and the fact that he has now taken up his role at Celtic. And I, for one, is buzzing about that because I think it's going to be... Celtic's not letting their foot off the pedal, that's for sure. But before we do anything, as we always do, we jump into the comments section just to make sure, just to see who's on the comments section. Let's check that. That's fine. We jump into the comments section first of all to say good evening to everyone. It's called the One Celtic Fans View, and I want to get as many Celtic fans' views as possible this evening because there's two important subjects that need to be spoken about, and one's obviously the potential. I'll go through the whole statement in just a minute or two with regards to the potential ban that Celtic may face for away fans, which I think would be devastating. I think it would be absolutely devastating, and it once again brings up the whole Green Brigade issue, and them just doing as they please as a set of supporters. And a lot of fans don't like it because of that. I understand that. I mean, we all know that pyro and everything is a big thing in the European scene, and it's a 20 grand fine. Will the Green Brigade go out again and do a GoFundMe to raise 20 grand or more for the people of Gaza? Well, I hope they do. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. I'll say good evening to everyone. First of all, Hazel was first in, saying evening. Leo Miles was first in, and after that, then Joseph Docherty. Evening to you, Joe. After that was Dave Hislop and Joseph Davison. Stephen Johnson's in the house. Tam Mack's in the house. He's talking about the way the BBC have reported the pyro for both Celtic and Rangers. Gary's in the house, Bobby Good's in the house, David Hislop, Gary Haycroft, Stephen Johnson, Tam Mack, Lorna Gallagher, Risdale? What is it? Tisdale. John Mills in the house, Tony's in the house, and haven't been on for a while. John. Change of job, still loyal. Huns let off rockets at Ibrox and we lit flares. I don't want to talk about them at all. I'm going to go into the statement from UEFA. Charges against Celtic FC, lighting of fireworks at Article 16-2. Anyway, the decision that they have is to fine Celtic FC €20,000 and to ban Celtic FC from selling tickets for away supporters for a total of one UEFA club competition match for lighting fireworks. Said ban from selling tickets to away supporters is suspended for a probationary period of 2 years, starting from the date of the decision, which was today. And it's not the first time that Celtic have had a fine, but is it the first time that we've entered into a probationary period? Now, at any time during the next 2 years, if the Green Brigade just decide, or any fan, not just saying it's the Green Brigade, I've got the boys that go there and the away fans as well, but if they do let off any fireworks, any pyro, within the next 2 years, UEFA could ban Celtic from away matches. Now, there's a massive away support goes to European away games. And I know guys that have went to European away games for a lot longer than the Green Brigade has been around. And I'm a big supporter of the Green Brigade and everything they do and they bring to football. But I've also known guys, best part of 30 years in my adult life, that have went to European away games. And they do every season. Every season, they do not miss a game. And for them to be banned because of the actions of others would be devastating as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I'm I don't want to get into the whataboutery of Scottish football and the Huns got this and we got that and they did this, we did that. I don't care about them. My main concern is guys that I know that are nothing to do with the group whatsoever, that have been going to football for the best part of 40 odd years, some of them, since we were kids, and they're the ones that are going to get penalised because of fireworks. Now, will the Green Brigade or the boys let off any pyro in the next couple of seasons? I think we all know the answer to that, and it'll be interesting to see what, if anything, is done by UEFA to ban Celtic from away games, because I just think it would be absolutely devastating. You know, and you could say what you want, and the group could say what it wants about it, but when it gets this close to banning our own fans, I just think sometimes they just need to cock Annie a bit. And you know what will happen? Celtic will ban them at Celtic Park, and that's what we don't want. That happened last season. They let off fireworks and they were banned for games. They were banned for a good while. And it's all good them sitting down in the Celtic Supporters Association Club and being all comrades together and then the boys sitting it out. But if this affects a wider set of fans, do you know, the one thing we need playing away fans is away fans in Europe. UEFA have decided fines weren't working, so this is the next level, says the AR. It is. And it's obvious that fines aren't working across Europe. I mean, I think there has been some clubs that have had parts of stadiums shut down. But a complete ban on away fans, and just my own perspective, and people that I know, guys that I've known, people that I've known since my early 20s, some guys that I've known since I was a teenager, that still go to European away games. I just think it'd be devastated. Absolutely devastated. Anyway, we welcome Natasha, who's managed to catch on her first live. I am going to put a time out for all the lives so that people can have a schedule to go by. It will revert back to 9 o'clock in the morning. It was okay doing the 8:30 thing. It was just a test, just to see how many people were kicking around at that time. And you've got to remember that this channel used to put out videos at 8 o'clock in the morning. But there's another channel started doing Celtic morning news videos. It's funny how they catch on, eh? And in fact, there's two do early morning Celtic news videos now. But anyway, it is what it is. We will just up our game, as we always do. Right, to the big statement of the day. And this made headlines. Celtic have been making headlines around Europe. Not only Europe, because the Celtic women's team are in Madrid, because they've been making headlines for that. But they've been making headlines all over Europe with regards to Paul Tisdale, saying it's a huge honour to be appointed as head of football operations at Celtic. That's the headline coming out of the Irish Independent. There's other headlines coming around the world, but you'll go and find them if you want to read them. Let's read the statement from Celtic FC and the man who does not like to talk a lot, Michael Nicholson. Celtic Football Club is delighted to announce the appointment of Paul Tisdale as Celtic Head of Football Operations. This is a new strategic role reporting to the board. Paul will oversee the development and management and effective operations to support high-level football performance, including the identification and development of talent, in line with the club's objective to develop Champions League players through our academy and recruitment process. Additionally, Paul will work with the club's analytics functions, supporting colleagues across the club to continuously improve our processes. During his player career in the 1990s, Paul had spells with a number of clubs, including Southampton, Bristol City, before injury cut his career short. At just the age of 26, Paul then embarked on a successful career of football management, including a period of 12 years as manager of Exeter City, big one. The club was well known in developing academy players. Following retirement from football management and recent retirement, he's only 51. In retirement, Jesus God, man. Puts us all to shame that I have to work for a living now. Following retirement of football management in recent years, Paul has provided advice and support to a number of clubs and groups of clubs on recruitment, football operations, analytics and innovation, and brings to this new role at Celtic a wealth of knowledge and experience. Paul assisted the club across a number of transfer windows now. So this is not something new to Celtic. He's assisted the club across a number of transfer windows and joined Celtic on a permanent basis as we seek to once again drive the club forward. Chief Executive Michael Nicholson said, "We are delighted to appoint Paul as Head of Football Operations. We are sure he'll bring a new dimension to our work. Talent identification, talent development from our academy through to our first team is fundamental importance to the club's strategy, and Paul's tremendous expertise in these areas. We are certain that he will bring experience, energy, innovation to what we do. Work alongside Brendan, our football manager, Chris McCart, head of academy, and the wider football staff to bring further development and success to the club." Brendan Rodgers said, "I'm so pleased that we have been able to bring Paul to the club. It's important in this new role. I'm really looking forward to working with him. He's a hugely talented man who I know will make a real positive difference to give us a new edge. He knows modern football inside out. He understands what we need as a club, what our team needs, and how to operate at a high level, and how we can develop positively and successfully across a number of functions within the club. I've known Paul for some time and been well aware of his work. I know that he'll be a huge asset for Celtic, and the knowledge and talent and tremendous work ethic, he'll be crucial to driving forward the success of the club in a number of areas as we aim to deliver high performance and more success to Celtic." And delighted to be joining Head of Football Operations Paul Tisdale said, "It's a huge honour to accept this new role at Celtic, to join a club of such pedigree and stature. I can't wait to join them and begin my work to deliver positive results. Celtic demands and deserves excellence across all areas. I know that is something that the board and Brendan seek at all times. My role will be to bring and develop and work across and identify talent, develop analytics. The way we aim to ensure a level of support and football performance, having knowledge of Celtic. I know there are many quality and authentic people at the club. We'll all be pulling in the same direction for passionate success. I look forward to joining them and work together to deliver excellence for the club and our supporters." That's Paul Tisdale and Brendan Rodgers talking about the new appointment. And now talking about the new appointment, I think I'd said in the video when it was said that he was coming to the club, if Celtic pull this one off, it's a rabbit out of the hat. He's been working. It was interesting that he acknowledged that he has been working with the club for a number of transfer windows. Does that run in direct correlation with the time that Brendan had decided that Mark Lawwell and co were absolute knobs in the job, were absolute nonsense in the job, and had no idea of a strategic way to take Celtic forward? They thought about bringing in £1 million players and trying to turn them into £10 million players was going to work again and again and again, and it's been proven that it's not the way forward for Celtic. So it's interesting that Brendan Rodgers knows Paul, and that he knows the kind of thing that he can bring to Celtic. Will this leads into the next part. Will this... That's a book, not a statement. It is and will this... Can we look forward, and will this lead to an extension of Brendan Rodgers' contract after next season? Got to remember, Brendan Rodgers, as it currently stands, has 1.5 years left on his contract. And the reason that we need to talk about it is because Ange Postecoglou is under pressure. Under pressure down at Spurs, and even Newcastle bloggers have been talking about it, and Spurs bloggers are talking about it already. Ange Postecoglou introduced a refreshing attacking style at Tottenham, but we need to question his ability to secure European football for the club. This season marks Spurs' worst ever start in over a decade. prompting discussions about whether Postecoglou is right for the club. And that's it. They've started talking already. The Spurs fans have said they're looking at the one and only current Celtic manager and the current Newcastle manager who was linked with Celtic. God ram it, yous lot. There's not a chance. Will Brendan Rodgers ever leave Celtic to go to Spurs? He knows they're a basket crazy a club. He's not going to do an Ange Postecoglou and I'm going to go there and try and bring him up, mate. Shutting the door. Tell he's loud. And I'm going to pull them up, mate. I'm going to bring them up and make them better. You know what I mean, mate? It's the worst accent ever. But I think that the fact that Spurs fans are talking about it, they know that there's at the end of this season, if any club's going to do anything, they're going to do it this summer. So it then will bring into the conversation towards the end of this season, once we start getting to the tail end of it, and people actually realise that Brendan Rodgers has only got 1 year left on his contract. It's not a rolling contract like he had before. He signed a 3-year deal. He says that it's that Ange at the door. Oh, Jesus. People will start saying, is Brendan getting his deal extended? And if Celtic go out and do the treble this year, would listen, everyone's going to say it comes down to the European results, and people will judge. That accent was shite. Of course it was shite. Was they meant to be good? It's never meant to be good. I'm not even good at this, but I do that. Anyway, cheers, Lindsay. All right, mate. Oh, Jesus. I know I'm better at doing Ned. Oh, you're a pure double, man. Just a pure double. But anyway, the question will be asked. It's fucking boiling in here and she's just shut the door over. Jesus. The question will be asked, will Brendan Rodgers be offered a brand new contract at Celtic? With other clubs like Spurs lurking about in the background, and especially if Spurs have an absolute mare of a season like they're doing. But I did say, and I still stand by it, Brendan Rodgers will not leave before the end of his 3-year contract. Bringing in Paul Tisdale may have just given Brendan Rodgers a little bit of glimmer of hope that Celtic are actually wanting to progress as a club. They want to not just be an also-rans and whipping boys in the Champions League. They want to turn into a real big boys club. It's pull your big boy pants up, Celtic time, and let's prove to everyone that not only can we dominate Scottish football, and I think that bringing this guy in will just help maintain the status quo for Scottish football. The Huns at this point must be just sitting with their heads exploding going, my God, we're sitting with no director of football, no CEO, no this, no that, no this, the next thing. And they've got fucking... they've got that geezer, whatever his name is, sitting taking questions out of all sorts. And Celtic are just up in the game again. Celtic, for once in our lifetime, Celtic aren't peddling backwards. We're not, going through a time of managed decline. I think the managed decline year was the year that Brendan Rodgers came back to the club. That was the season. We always have one season. If you look back at, I've spoke about this before. If you look back at Celtic, we've had ever since Gordon Strachan came in. We have a period where we managed. It's called managed decline. It's where we reduce the wage bill. We keep winning and we keep doing things and we keep progressing, but we manage the wage bill. We increase the profitability, but Celtic are at such a place now that we can increase our revenues through other means rather than reducing the wage structure. And I think that bringing this guy in to make sure that we finally... It has to be only good for the sake of the academy. Because over the last 4 or 5 years, we've lost far too many good players from the academy. This guy has knowledge of bringing and working and bringing in and making academy players better and picking up the talent. He's got contacts all around Europe and down in South. I think it's going to be rub it in, but as I'm under my quilt, the heated blanket on. Oh, un momento. Aquarius has got a new flavour. You need to get sponsored by Aquarius. And Adidas. But anyway, tell me what you think in the comments, right? Let's jump into the comment section because I've rambled on for about 20 minutes now. There's been over 500 people on the live so far, but there's only been 48 thumbs up. So make sure you do give the video a big thumbs up. So everybody's talking about Natasha being first. Welcome to the family, Natasha. We're here every night at 8 o'clock Celtic Park time. I'm for the Green Brigade, but what are the security guards doing at the gates? They can't search every single person, but they can do, but then it takes time to get them in. But you're right. They get all this pyro in. I don't know. It is what it is. And I think if the club were to get a ban in the next 2 years, I could just think of the Green Brigade always seem to go through ups and downs. They go through phases where they do really good. I mean, up and coming, I think is it this weekend or it's coming up soon anyway, and they're doing the annual food bank collection. In previous years, they've done absolutely fantastic numbers with the food bank collection. I can remember a time they needed about 12 vans to take all the food away. And they collect a fantastic amount of cash. And they give out cash and food to food banks all over Scotland. And that's fantastic. That's the good stuff. But when it gets close to getting bans for normal punters, you have to question. It's modern day football. It is modern day football, and maybe UEFA have just went, look, fining clubs isn't enough, so maybe we'll just need to start banning them. Anyway, a modern scout, says Q Wilson. That's a load of words to describe a scout. I don't think he's just a scout. I think he's been a scout in the past for Celtic, but I don't think that the position that he's coming into, Celtic's head of football operations, that's a wide variety. That's looking over everything that Brendan Rodgers. I mean, he's first team coach. This guy's going to be working with Brendan, the board, looking at the youth team setup, looking at the B team, how the players for the B team can make the transition from B team to first team, how we can bring in players, the type of players that we can bring in to make the first team better. But ultimately, it's about having a conveyor belt of players that are going to come through. I mean, look at Barcelona. Barcelona are playing a 17-year-old guy who's he's the biggest thing in Spain since God knows what. Do you know? And it's like they're expecting such high things of this 17-year-old. And Celtic are nowhere near that kind of stuff. We're that far gone from bringing through players like Jamal. It's just unbelievable. It is unbelievable. But anyway, it can only be a good thing. And Lorna Gallagher said that was a book, not a statement, but it's a good appointment though. Lindsay Greenwood says, hail Baz and all. AR says, the guy is one of these positive mental attitudes guys. I don't think he's just one of these positive mental attitude guys. I think that he's a guy that knows football inside out. And is the type of person that, and being all honest, I think that is going to make a massive change to the way that Celtic are run. We brought in Mark Lawwell because of his connections with to the City group. Now, he was basically a scout. He was the worst friggin' scout on the planet, was Mark Lawwell, because the players that he brought in were woeful. And you would think with the connections that he had, he would be able to pick up a bargain. But ultimately, it cost us with not getting Adam Ida in for 3 million. Adam Ida ended up costing us 9 million. And I think that was the camel that broke, the straw that broke the camel's back, or the way you say it. The fact that Brendan Rodgers just went, no, we've got a guy that's been working with us over the past year or so. Get him in the door. This is who I want. And Brendan Rodgers has had a massive part to play in this. Remember this. Brendan Rodgers, I don't know if it was during the summer, I think it was during the summer when we were in America. Brendan Rodgers was asked about not having a head of recruitment, and would that hinder Would it hinder Celtic bringing in players? And it hasn't hindered Celtic bringing in players. If anything, we've upped our game. And it just goes to show you the fact that Paul Tisdale was at the Celtic Queen's Park game at the very first game of the season, pre-season. It's interesting to know that this has been going on for a long time. I've said before, these type of decisions aren't made off the back of a job interview. Do you know what I mean? These are things, these are discussions that go on for a while, and back and forward. And the fact that it had to include Brendan Rodgers, and Brendan Rodgers will have had a big say in bringing this guy in. Anyway, it's Carly, Jeff, Carly, Natasha, Baz was using my missus' YouTube. Baz was using my missus' YouTube because I'm not paying fucking adverts. I'm Jim Boy. Been loving your channel for years. That's even better that your missus pays for YouTube, so you don't have to watch the adverts. So it's not something new. It's great. Ange hasn't a clue. Who cares about Ange? That's do my head in. Yeah, it's just adverts at the beginning, but there's nothing we could do. There's nothing we could do. It's YouTube. Do you know what I mean? A few people talking about my accent when I try to imitate Ange. All right, mate. Paul Baird says, I think UEFA are just trying to get back at their subs for not supporting Palestine. Oh, yeah. Didn't get me started on that tonight. I'm just reading some of the comments. I was 22 years ago. Carly gained aware age. Boy for Benny offers in. We're showing the Aberdeen game on Saturday, and the Costas is on Celtic TV. It's on Celtic TV. Boy for Benny offer. I'm going to be at Sheeran's in Cottrell because they're doing a Ruta de Tapa on Saturday. So I'm going to do the tapas tour, and then once we've eaten loads of tapas and drank loads of beers, go and watch the game at Sheeran's. You should pop up to Sheeran's just for a change. It's a laugh. It's not. And it's a good pub. It's a good pub. Cracking pub. Cracking pub. Rabbi's in the house. Desmond McDonald's in the house. You never knock on. 26 going on 2. It's Jim Baz, not Natasha. That's the wife. Please no adverts on YouTube. Did I not read that earlier? The dog's wanting to get out. The missus has locked the dog in. Joy to Derry girls, Oz accent much better than Baz. Age is just a number. It is that. Anyway, let's look at some of the more of the Celtic headlines. Tonight I am only staying on for half an hour because I am totally choked myself tonight, and the dog is now like making noises to get out. We will be continuing with 3 lives a day, and because we're doing 3 lives, we're probably going to only run them at half hour. The stats seem to look a lot better with the half hour lives. The stats were a lot better for the half hour lives for some unknown strange reason. They just worked out a lot better. But the upside is you're going to get 3 of them a day. One will be at 9 o'clock in the morning. One will be at around about 4:35, 5 p.m. Celtic part time. And then the other one will obviously be the big one at 8 o'clock every single night. Shears is easy to find. It's on the main street. It's on the main street in Cottrell. Just come straight up the motorway. Don't take the first turn off for Cottrell, take the second one. And as you come into town, you'll see it's on the left hand side. And there, talking about CCTV. No, let's not talk about that. Anyway, what night is it? It's Wednesday. Tomorrow night we will be talking about the big game of the weekend, which is the top of the table clash. Yes, the top of the table clash as Celtic entertain the one and only Dons. Yes, the mighty Dons, who are coming out and saying that they think that they have a chance of winning the league if they beat Celtic. Both of us are on 21 points. Celtic have a massive goal difference. And with the fact that the game is being played at Celtic Park, I am obviously going to go for a Celtic win. How big the win will be, well, I have no idea. And I'm not doing a prediction for the game because the predictions have been way off the spot recently. And I think that Aberdeen will either put up a really good fight or completely crumble. This weekend. It's hump day, Baz. Yes, it is hump day. It's tiny, you'll find it. You will do. It's next door to the Chinese. as you drive into control. But anyway, I see that an Aberdeen player who's only 24-year-old says that Celtic have had 10 years of dominance. Oh, how to be young and not know anything. Let's see if there's any more Celtic. Celtic have just done another statement. Celtic have just put out another statement a couple of minutes ago. The club has received the decision issued by UEFA Control Ethics. This is a brand new statement from Celtic following the match against Borussia Dortmund, in which the club has been sanctioned again for the lighting and fireworks and small number of individuals attending the match. The decision proves that not only has the club received a fine of £20,000, but also that such behaviour is repeated at a match over the next 2 years, the club will be prevented from selling tickets to supporters for one away match competitions. The club has been very clear over a number of years that the use of firework pyrotechnics at matches is prohibited and presents risk to supporters' safety and, under the rules regulations. It is hugely disappointing, therefore, that the conduct of a very small minority has led to this decision and could potentially have such a negative, damaging impact on the team and the Celtic supporters wishing to attend the match to support the team. Celtic are going to do something. Celtic will come out and do something against said supporters in the next week or two. Watch this space. Celtic putting out that statement tonight, acknowledging the fact that if we get one more incident of fireworks in the next 2 years, there will be a ban. You can guarantee it. You can read it right now. Peter Lawwell and co are probably sitting looking at their camera and going, I want that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one out. Or will they just ban the whole of 111 in the bottom tier of the standing section once again? Once again. That brand new statement from Celtic is what a way to end the video. We can't end it just now. Celtic putting out that statement just, when did they put that out? 9:05 the Celtic put that statement out. So watch this space. I expect Celtic to act. I do expect Celtic to act. The fact that they have mentioned once again that it is a small minority within the support, they will not want fans to be not going to away games in European football. Celtic have done it before. They'll do it again. They will ban members of the Green Brigade and the boys in the coming weeks. Watch this space. You can read it. It's almost like it's gospel that will happen. Dear, they're going to go around this again. And then the atmosphere inside Celtic Park, once again in such an important season, will be like an absolute morgue if there's no Green Brigade and no boys at a game. It's stupid and it's crazy that we get ourselves into this position once again, but it is what it is. Pyros are banned in stadiums away, so why aren't they doing something about it during SPFL games? Not understanding Aberdeen and not underestimating Aberdeen. It's going to be 10-0. What about them dying? UEFA still recognise them, total clowns. Preparing us up for the upcoming ban of 111 standing section with a warning. That is, Scotty boy, that is what it is. They're preparing the fans. They're preparing the Celtic support with an acknowledgement that there will be a ban. Now, will it be a total ban of 111 in the Green Brigade section? I don't think so. But Celtic will want to make a statement. Celtic will not want to be seen by UEFA as lying down. Remember, Peter Lawwell is on committees within UEFA. Peter Lawwell is in committees within UEFA. He will be not wanting to be seen to not doing anything to prohibit or put fans off putting off pyro. That's for sure. He will make sure that the club comes down on them once again, and it will lead to a ban of Celtic fans from Celtic Park, which is devastating. Absolutely devastating, and it's always devastating when fans are banned. But where does the club go realistically? I forecast this a month ago, said Paul Baird. Just don't bring pyro, said Joseph. No Green Brigade at home games or away support in Europe. That's their choice. But AR, that's okay saying that. If you ban the Green Brigade, you've heard. Look back to last season. People were coming on here after games when I was doing lives, and they were saying, just back from the game, and it was like a ghost town. Without the Green Brigade, there's not the singing, there's not the noise. Fans can't maintain singing, they can't up the performance of the team, they can't push the team forward. And went through a lull between October and December last year when we had no Green Brigade and the boys in the game. Anyway, beers in our hands, pyros in our waistcoats, pyros in our hand band. True enough, just before Poppy Day. Forgot about that. And after just having a Tory fest down in London, they want to make sure that there's no mishaps on Poppy Day. Anyway, Kaiser, you're in just late. I'm only doing half an hour tonight. We're well over that half an hour spot. Facts, bags, remember the games last year. It was brutal. Yes, and it's true, Kaiser. It was brutal last year. It was brutal to listen on the television. But it was like watching COVID years. But anyway, God bless the Green Brigade. Big up the Green Brigade. I'm a massive supporter of the Green Brigade and everything to do. But when it comes to fans getting banned from European football, Celtic will do one thing, and we'll know what that is. And on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans all around the world. Get rid of the league table, and I'll see you in the morning.